Welcome back. We're talking with the winemaker from Navarro Vineyards, our featured winery this evening here at the Blue Water Restaurant, and that is Jim Klein. And Jim, again, I want to thank you very much for sharing your wines and some time, giving us some update on what goes on in a winery in Mendocino. We were talking about your Pinot Noir just before we went to a break. We haven't actually poured the Pinot Noir here for our guests. You know, we have about 45 people here that are interested in tasting the wines, along with some food that the Iron Chef that works here at the Blue Water.
Sure.
But let's talk about the Pinot first.
Well, Pinot Noir has become a big deal in the Anderson Valley, as you know. We started out with just 2 acres, and we had a lot of visitors from all over California who were winemakers, and they would always comment that, you know, your Pinot Noir has this really unusual cherry core to it that we just don't seem to get in other locations in California. So we've had a lot of neighbors move in and start growing Pinot Noirs as well, and it's really taken somewhat of a groundswell here, and we've been having a Pinot Noir festival for about the last 15 years in May. That's about the 3rd weekend of May. And it's really a great event, and it's nice to see so many different hands and so many different people trying to do their take on what Anderson Valley Pinot Noir should be like. And every winemaker seems to have his own story and his own way with the fruit. Ourselves, we're really trying to emphasize kind of a cherry core with hints of some oak, but it shouldn't be oaky. Pinot Noir really is one of those Zen wines, if you will, that needs to be very well balanced, have all kinds of elements of fruit, but yet not be fruity. It should be savory, but it should also sort of shine at the same time. So there's a lot of different elements that all come into play, and each one of those needs to play well off one another.
Well, you know, I've written down a couple things that a lot of people might not be aware of, because so many people think Pinot Noir only goes with a couple kinds of food. And I'm just going to rattle off real quick what I've written down here that it will go with, and then if you want to be something specific, well, we can do that. But it certainly goes well with pork, beef. Pinot Noir goes well with bacon. I guess damn near everything goes well with bacon. Poultry. Pinot Noir also goes well with chocolate. It doesn't have to be Cabernet Sauvignon to go with chocolate. It could certainly be a nice Pinot. Fish and lamb, and a lot of creamy dishes, such as white dishes from the northern part of Italy, the pasta dishes, you know, creamy ones. This Pinot is all 100% estate-grown grapes as well. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Well, no wonder it tastes
so good.
In fact,
all the Pinot that we have today is grown on our properties between Boonville and Philo. And we also have some fruit that our next-door neighbor grows under long-term contract.
Okay, and for those of you that may not know, the word Philo, that's the name of a town. Believe it or not, if you're not familiar with Northern California, it's in Mendocino, and this is where Navarro is located, is in Philo. Am I correct?
That's correct, in Philo.
So Philo, California is where it's located, and I have to tell you, you're doing a good job. And if we wanted to order some wine online, what would be the web address that we would go to, Jim?
NavarroWine.com.
Easy enough to do.
NavarroWine.com.
Very good. Okay. Jim, I want to thank you very much for your time. I know you've got to go. I kept you a lot longer than you planned to start with, but you got a lot of good information to give to us. Before you go, I want to tell you what we paired with the Pinot Noir, and then I can let you go back to your business here. We have a little chicken teriyaki with a little Italian sausage, bell peppers, and onions. That should go with Pinot Noir pretty well, don't you think?
I'm getting hungry. I haven't had my dinner yet, so so you really piqued my interest up there.
Very good. Well, thanks again. I appreciate your time, your effort. I love
Les,
your
it's been
wines.
a pleasure. My pleasure, Les.
Well, I can tell you, Jim Klein is a cool winemaker. He's up on top of, you know, not only the business, but he only makes like 6 different varietals. I shouldn't say only, that's a lot. But there are wineries that make 15 or 20 different varietals. But he does these, every one of them are exceptionally good. Have you had a chance to taste the Pinot Noir yet? Well, I have to tell you, I don't know what happened to our service here, but they're trying to get caught up. So when you get caught up, make sure that you swirl the wine for about 10 seconds, if you would, before you put your nose in there. And you can smell this Pinot Noir. And I can tell you that strawberry and cherry and those types of flavors just jump out at you in your nose. And then when you taste it, which, I think everybody should just take a little taste, swallow it, think about it for a second, and then take a serious taste. And you'll see that it comes up with the mushrooms a little bit. It has a little bit of leather, smokiness that Jim talked about before he left us. And maybe think about this, even if you're not a smoker, there's a little bit of tobacco in this Pinot Noir. And that's why it's around $29 a bottle, which I think is a heck of a good bargain. And so anyway, we got to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Pinot Noir and also talk about our third and final wine, which is a beautiful Riesling late harvest. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but it will by the time we get back and I get a chance to explain it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back coast to coast and around the world on the internet right here on Wines du Jour in Las Vegas. Be right back.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.